Oklahoma country music superstar Toby Keith died last night after a 3-year battle with stomach cancer.
Robin Marsh from our sister station in Oklahoma City recently sat down with Toby in what's now become one of his final interviews, and she joins us now to talk more about his life and legacy. Robin, I know, as we now know of his passing, it makes that interview even more special.
It does, and truthfully, I was just heartbroken when I got the text this morning from a dear friend of mine that Toby Keith had passed away, and you know, 62 years young, just too young, but boy, he's left a lifetime of memories, a legacy through his music and what he loved about our country and our troops. And yes, when actually just Leanne and Tess, how I got the interview, I saw Toby on a live stream on Twitter one night, and my friend Ed Murray that worked in Oklahoma City, I said, hey, would you give Toby my number? I'd love to interview him about just the journey he's gone through, because, you know, he had stomach cancer. He was very open about it. And my friend Ed said, yeah, I gave him your number. He put it in his pocket. And then a couple of days later, the phone rang, and he said, I was told to call you.
Wow.
And, you know, I think Toby Keith is giving us all a lesson about how to live. You know, I think Toby Keith was at peace with whatever happened. And, you know, none of us are guaranteed how many days we're going to have here on this earth, but he showed us how to live. And, you know, for him to do his concert in Las Vegas in December, you know, his health has not been good. He was very thin. And we went to the concert, and Leanne, I tell you, he acted like it was his first concert he had ever given. And he was so full of life, so full of his music. And at first I thought maybe Toby was doing it for him, but after experiencing that concert in Las Vegas, and after really reflecting on my interview with him, I think he did all of this so unselfishly, and did it for the fans who love his music, did it for the fans who love how he stands for America and our country, and did it for all of those who don't have a voice in fighting a battle with cancer.
And I think he's a testament to cancer knows no discrimination. It doesn't matter how much money you have, how much success you have. Cancer is a tough battle to fight.
It is, and I actually talked with him about that. You know, he has the OK Kids Corral House here through his Toby Keith Foundation, and I asked him, I said, you know, you identify now with all these young children that you are trying to help their families. And he said, I do. And he said, I hate it. I hate what they're having to go through, because he knows the struggle himself of what radiation, what chemo and surgery entails. And I think it makes even his legacy about helping families with children going through cancer even more imperative today through his foundation. You know, in one night here in Oklahoma City last year, they raised more than $2 million for the Toby Keith Foundation, for the OK Kids Corral, you know, and this is from a man who, you know, can boast about, you know, 42 top 10 hits, 32 #1 songs. He has more than 10 billion streams, but as I talked with Toby, none of that really mattered,
right.
Leanne and Tess. His message was truthfully about his faith. And I asked him, do you have a peace that passes all understanding today as we sit here? And he said, I do. He said, I finally came to a place that I was able to wrap my mind around where I am, and I'm okay with that. And here in Oklahoma City today at 9, we're going to show you how our interview ends with Toby, but I'll just go ahead and share with you, because I told Toby, I just said, you know, thank you so much for really entrusting me to be the steward of his story. And really, it was a living testament, and just so amazing to me that that story ran just 2 weeks ago.
Right.
And here we are today talking that he's gone. But he shared with me, and I said, you know, Toby, I've always heard that your test becomes your testimony. And he said, you're right, Robin. And he said, he was just so bold about his faith. And he said, if I could be a messenger for the Lord, and that is my role, then I proudly take that on. And he said, you know, he was blessed with even just a chance to fight through cancer. And there's so many people who don't get that chance. Right. But I thought, even just as we ended, it was the very same way as we began, about his faith and how he truly told me he doesn't know how people without faith endure such a debilitating disease. You know, when you talk about stomach cancer, there is no cure for stomach cancer, and he did have surgery, and you could tell, I mean, it was his health that was making the headlines over the last year and a half, specifically after he had lost so much weight. But waking up this morning and the word from his family that Toby Keith passed peacefully last night on February 5th, that he fought the fight with grace and courage. And our thoughts with his wife of almost 40 years, Tricia, his 3 children, and his grandchildren who he loved to boast about. And it was just a blessing for me to be the one to really have a final moment for a television interview with a country music icon, Toby Keith. And I think it is kind of just what you mentioned. I mean, we all go through tough times in life, and we all have struggles and fights, but I think the way Toby handled this, especially in these last few months, really should just be a reminder for all of us today to hug tighter to the people that we care about, to tell the people that we love that we do love them, and to make memories. And I think that's what he did in those final moments with the concert in Las Vegas that he did for the 3 nights. You know, he was at an OU basketball game just a couple of weeks ago, and, you know, to the very end, he lived to the fullest. And I think that's my takeaway this morning, Leanne and Tess.
Robin, we appreciate your time as always. I know we'll be keeping posted on the funeral arrangements and the services, but as people are waking up this morning, they're starting to learn more about this news, and we're already hearing a lot of celebrities and individuals posting. Thanks, Robin. We appreciate your time.
His music, of course, made an impact, but now I think his faith is the legacy that he's going to leave behind.